Here's a clock that's working fine. $1 1:30. Here's 2 o'clock. Be sure that you always turn the minute hand clockwise. Don't ever turn it the other way, because that can mess things up. Make sure that the clock is wound up all the way till you can't turn it anymore. It needs that power in order to run. First thing you want to do is to lay the clock on its back. It makes it a lot easier to let gravity help you. I have to do everything one-handed here because I'm holding the camera. Now, the first thing we got to do is take the dial off, and that's actually pretty easy to do. We got an hour hand, minute hand, and then it's all held in place by this pin. It's called a taper pin because it tapers from a sharp point and it gets fatter as it goes. So figure out the fat part, and you want to push take a pair of pliers, and you want to push the not fat part, the skinny part, back. And the pin will just come right out. And if it's got a hand washer or more than one hand washer, you take that off. And then your minute hand will just come right out. Then the hour hand, it just presses on there. So what you want to do is grab it. Don't grab it by the hand because you're going to bend it if you do. Grab it sort of down here and just kind of twist it back and forth while you're gently pulling at the same time. And that'll come right out like that. Then what we got on this clock, we got 2 screws here and here that's holding the dial on. Some clocks have 3 screws. And you just take the screws out. Try not to lose them. And try not to drop them on the ground because they'll run away on you. You'll think it'll be right there where it dropped, but it'll be somewhere else. Okay, now we can see our movement. And here, right here, this is the little shovel kind of thing that goes in these slots. Now you'll notice some of these slots are deeper than others. When this shovel goes down into a deep slot, the clock will stop striking. And when it goes into a not deep slot, it'll keep striking. So what can go wrong, especially in shipping, if this gets bent just the teeniest little bit where it can't fall into those deep slots, the clock will strike crazy. So what I'm going to do is put the clock back up just to show you. What's happening. Now, if you can put the key where the minute hand was, then that's kind of ideal. If you can't put the key there, some clocks you can and some you can't, then it would be wise to put your minute hand back on right now, just the minute hand, not the hour hand, so that you can turn it, because this is kind of a trial and error thing. So we'll have to maybe turn it a whole bunch of times. So when we turn the minute hand, which is we're using the key right now, pretending that's the minute hand, it'll raise that arm up, and then as it passes the half hour, it starts to strike, and then the shovel will fall into that deep slot and stop the strike. So that was the half hour. Now we're going to go to the hour. I think it's 3 o'clock now. That's going to strike. Raises it up. And then it falls into the deep slot again. Now it'll be the half hour. Raises it up. And it falls in for the half hour. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend it so it's not working right. Okay, now let's see if it's working. No, I didn't bend it enough. It's working. Bend it a little bit more. Oh, still working. Bend it some more. Okay, I'm going to bend it a little bit more. What I'm trying to do is get it where it won't fall into that slot. Now we got it. See, it can't fall into the slot because it's not where it's supposed to be. And that might be where what your clock is doing. So what I'm going to do now is bend it back so it'll fall into that slot. Let's see if that'll do it. No. There we go. Now it's back working again. So that's all you have to do is bend that a little bit so it falls into those slots and stops. And there we go. Now all we have to do is put that dial back on and put the hands back on, and we're done. We're going to lay the clock back down again. So that gravity will help us put those screws in. If you try to put the screws in when the clock is standing up, it's lots harder. And doing it one-handed is hard also.